As we all know, there's some great debut albums out there, but there's also just as many or more second albums. I'm going to show you 10. Come in and have a look. Good morning, everyone. It's Robert from On My Turntable. Hopefully a great morning this morning. It's Wednesday morning. As always, a coffee kind of morning. Cheers, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. As I said, there's so many great debut albums out there, but there's just as many or more second albums or sophomore albums, as sometimes they're referred to. I'm going to show you 10. I have every one of their debut albums from these bands except the first one I'm going to show. And I thought I had it, but I don't. It is Quicksilver Messenger Service and the amazing album Happy Trails. This is so good. It's so good. I don't have their debut album. That one came out in 1968, self-titled, Quicksilver Messenger Service. But this is their sophomore album. Recorded live at the Fillmore East and the Fillmore West. We're just not sure what part goes with what, because it doesn't really tell you on the album. Originally released in 1969. This is the 2020 remaster. It is perhaps one of the greatest recordings from that era as far as performances go. Surprise commercial success. And it's on Colin Larkin's 553 of the top 1,000 albums of all time. It's also ranked 189 on Rolling Stones magazine's 500 greatest albums of all time. The 50 coolest albums, ranked number 444. I mean, it's remarkable. If you want to sit back and just enjoy some amazing blues playing at its best. Who Do You Love? Part 1. And then there's When Do You Love? And Where Do You Love? And How Do You Love? And Which Do You Love? And Who You Love? 25 minutes and 19 seconds of brilliance. That's all on side 1. Side 2 is Mona, 7 minutes, which was ranked 88th of 100 greatest guitar solos of all time. Again, remarkable. Calvary, and then the title track, Happy Trails. It is such a wonderful album. I'm so happy to have this finally. I have it on CD, but I'm happy to have it in my collection now on vinyl. It's so good, so good. From the band, I just recently discovered this year, actually within the last couple of months, maybe, is Joy Division. This is their remarkable debut album, Unknown Pleasures. 1979 release. This was the only album recorded during Ian Curtis's lifetime, the lead singer. Unfortunately, he would take his own life in 1980. All kinds of stuff going on in his life. Not a happy life. It's unfortunate. He was in his early 20s, for God's sakes. But this is an amazing debut album. Then they came out after his death, 2 months after he passed away. This is Closer, their sophomore album. Originally came out in 1980. Another remarkable album. More mature than the debut album. It was named one of the most brilliant albums of the 80s. Almost flawless. It was at their creative peak, and unfortunately there will be no music from the band anymore. The members of the band went on to form, remaining members went on to form New Order, which I've got to get some of their stuff. Maybe it's just as good as this, I'm not sure. But yeah, this is a really, really great album. Great second album from these guys. So good. And I love the cover as well, from Joy Division. Remarkable stuff. From the band, the amazing Canadian-American band. I have their debut album, music from the Big Pink, or from Big Pink. Remarkable stuff. Every member is gone now, unfortunately, as losing Garth Hudson not too long ago. I think, if not the last of the last year, first of this year. They became Ronnie Hawkins' backup band way back in the day. They were known as the Hawks, and then Levon and the Hawks, from Levon Helm being the leader of the band at that time. The Canadian Squires, the Honkies. They gained a lot of attention when they became Bob Dylan's backup band in his 1966 Electric Tour. And then they put out this debut album, 1968 debut, and The Wait was the big song off of this album. Such a great album. And then they released my favorite, their sophomore album, The Band, or the Brown Album, as it's known for. Really a concept album about Americana, people, places, traditions associated with Americana. And it's ironic because the main writer of the songs, Robbie Robertson, was Canadian. How he came up with all these American references and Americana themes. But what a band. Three main singers in Levon Helm, the drummer, Rick Danko, the bass player, and keyboardist Richard Manuel. Of course, filling out the lineup was instrumentalist, multi-instrumentalist, and Canadian Garth Hudson. Of course, Robbie Robertson, Canadian main songwriter. It's a wonderful album. Across the Great Divide, Rag, Mama Rag, The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down, Up on Cripple Creek, Rockin' Chair, Jawbone. Remarkable. King Harvest, Has Surely Come. I mean, amazing stuff. Amazing stuff from the band. Another great band, and one of my favorites, debut album from the Black Crowes. This band was formed in Georgia. A great southern rock, blues rock, hard rock band. This is Shake Your Money Maker, 1990, huge successful debut album. Hard to Handle, She Talks to Angels, Jealous Again, Twice as Hard, Seeing Things. I mean, this was a singles album right off the bat. One of their best-selling albums for sure. And then they came out with their sophomore album, Southern Harmony, a Musical Companion. I love this. I love this album. It's a harder, edgier album. They got a new guitarist in Mark Ford, which brought a better playing. It made actually Rich Robinson play better on the album. Chris Robinson's vocals are more confident on this one. You got Sting Me and Remedy are the big singles off of this album. I love it. I love this album. I love both of them. They're both fantastic albums. From the mighty Black Sabbath, and again, rest in peace, Ozzy. That's still reeling throughout the music industry. You had their debut album, the ominous Black Sabbath self-titled album, 1970 release. It's the 2016 remaster. It is not the original, but it was regarded as one of the first true heavy metal albums of its day. Great stuff. And then they came out with their second album, probably their most commercially successful album, in Paranoid. I mean, for a second album, this one it's a beast of an album. Iron Man, War Pigs. I think this was originally supposed to be called War Pigs. The title track, Paranoid, the band's only top 20 hit. One of the greatest and most influential rock albums of its time. 100 greatest metal albums of all time by Rolling Stone. I love this album. It was my introduction to Black Sabbath when I first started collecting way back when I was a young teenager, maybe 13, 14. That, and then Deep Purple, Machine Head. I was a rocker back then for sure. Still am, I guess. But War Pigs, Paranoid, Planet Caravan, Iron Man, Electric Funeral, Hand of Doom, Rat Salad, Ferris Wear Boots. It's amazing. Amazing stuff. Before, these guys were known as a progressive rock band, which they are, in my opinion. Jethro Tull was a blues-based band on their debut album. This is an amazing box set. 2000 and when this came out, 2024, I think it was. Pardon me. Yeah, they had a different guitarist, and Mick Abrams, who was a blues-based guitarist. The album this was, when it came out in 1968, was recorded at a cost of only £1,200. I'm not sure what that is in American or Canadian music. But Mick Abrams was a major influence for the blues and jazz fusion, based on his style and songwriting. This is 2018, 50th anniversary. I thought it was later, but 2018. It's awesome. I love it. So for their second album, Mick Abrams was out, as he wanted to continue the blues path. Ian Anderson wanted to go more folk and progressive. So in steps Martin Barr, the amazing guitarist who would be with them right up until the Christmas album, I think. They brought this album out, Stand Up. There's still some blues-based influences on this one in New Day Yesterday. Fat Man was played on a mandolin. Jeffrey Goes to Leicester Square was played on a balalaika. I'm not even sure what that is. Some great acoustic pieces off of this one. Reason for Waiting. The instrumental Bourrier, which is a huge concert favorite. You got jazzy reworkings on here. Nothing is Easy. It's a jazz rock track. Apparently the track We Used to Know was kind of picked up by the Eagles and used in their song Hotel California. Even though Don Felder, who wrote most of the music for that track, didn't join the band until 1974. The Eagles and Jethro Tull toured together between 1971 and 1972. So I think they picked up some of the tracks off of We Used to Know and made it into a huge hit for the band in Hotel California. But I love this album. So good. I love early Jethro. I love all Jethro Tull. One of my favorite 70s bands, Grand Funk Railroad. The Flint, Michigan hard rock trio, formed in 1969. You got Mark Farner on guitars and vocals, keyboards, harmonica, Don Brewer on drums and vocals, Mel Shocker on bass. I mean, that's a classic trio lineup for sure. It's a shame what happened later on. But this is their debut album, excellent on time. Had a big hit, Time Machine on this one. One of the first to hit the top 50 charts. Really, really good album. I love it. Then they came out with their sophomore album, the Red Album, or self-titled Grand Funk. It took me a long time to find a decent copy of this one. I looked and I couldn't find anything. It was their first gold album. This one came out in 1969. They do a huge cover of the Animals Inside Looking Out on this one. That became a staple of their live concerts. Early Grand Funk is how rock should be. It's unfortunate that it would become tamer as each album came out after that. But this is a great example, and their debut album is a great example of just hard 70s rock. And I love it. I love it so much. One of the greatest debuts ever, perhaps in my opinion anyway, the Jimi Hendrix Experience and Are You Experience. This came out in 1967. Of course, the Experience are Noel Redding on bass and backing vocals and Mitch Mitchell on drums. Voted 63 of Colin Larkin's 1,000 albums of all time. It's just a remarkable album. Purple Haze, Foxy Lady, Hey Jew, Sorry. Hey Joe. Oops. Uh, The Wind Cries Mary. It's a beast of an album. Jimi is just remarkable on this one. So good. Oops, I didn't mean to say that. And then they came out with their second album, their sophomore album, Access Bold as Love. Another great album. First released December 1st, 1967. Only 7 months after the original album came out, the debut album. Spanish Castle Magic, Little Wing. 2 awesome tracks off of this one. Jimi didn't like the cover. He didn't like the Hindu religious themes off the cover. He wasn't impressed with that one. And he publicly expressed his dissatisfaction, but that didn't change apparently. It was a critical and commercial success. This album was platinum in the US, silver in the UK. It's 147 on Colin Larkin's 1,000 Best Albums of All Time. You got Up From the Sky, Spanish Castle Magic, Wait Until Tomorrow, Little Wing, If 6 Was 9, Castle Made of Sand, One Rainy Wish, Little Miss Lover, Bold as Love. It's just fantastic stuff. Another band I really got into this year was the Talking Heads. I love their debut, 77. Great American band formed in 75, led by vocalist David Byrne. It's a great album. Originally came out in 1977. This is the 2024 remaster. Psycho Killer is off of this one. The big hit. The album's so good. So good. Then they came out with their sophomore album, More Songs About Buildings and Food, 1978. Another critically successful album. Number 29 in the US charts. You got the big hit, Take Me to the River. I think this is a wonderful second album. Ranked number 4 along the top albums of the year in 1978. Rolling Stones list as the 500 greatest albums of all time, ranked number 57 on the greatest albums of all time between 67 and 87. It's a great album. With Our Love, The Good Thing, Girls Want to Be With Girls, Found a Job. I mean, so good. What else is on here? Artist Only, I'm Not in Love, Stay Hungry, Take Me to the River, the big hit, The Big Country. Remarkable stuff. And finally, the excellent guitarist Rory Gallagher and his band Taste. I need this one on vinyl. I had a crappy copy of this one on vinyl, all beat to hell, and the record itself was scratched all to hell. But I did find a decent CD copy, but I got to get a better one. The awesome blues rock band from Cork, formed in '66, again founded by songwriter and guitarist and saxophonist Rory Gallagher. He would leave the band in 1970, unfortunately, but you got Rory Gallagher on guitars, vocals, saxophone, and harmonica, Richard Charlie McCracken on bass, and John Wilson on drums. It's a fine album, fine album. Blister on the Moon, Leaving Blues, Sugar Mama, Hail, Born on the Wrong Side of Time, Dual Carriageway, Pain, Same Old Story, Catfish, I'm Moving On. It's a fantastic debut. Then they returned with their sophomore album, On the Boards. I love this one. It is so good. So good. 1970 release on this one. It really brought Rory Gallagher to prominence. He became very recognizable for his playing, his singing, his songwriting. Impressive progressive blues album for sure. You got driving rockers like What's Going On and I'll Remember. Some great boogie tracks on Morning Sun and If I Sing I'll Cry. There's some really awesome sax playing on the slow blues of the title track on the boards, and on It Happened Before, It'll Happen Again. This is one of the highlights of Rory Gallagher's career for sure. It's a shame that they didn't continue, but I think he went on to bigger and better things in his solo career for sure. So there you have it, guys. There's 10 awesome sophomore albums. Put in the list below, what are yours? Have yourself a great rest of the day. Love you all. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.